Want to. It's never,
It's never a good idea to hire a programmer to build your website. Never. If you have an idea for a website, it's best that you build it yourself or know most of what you're doing. But if you go into this, if you have an idea, if you want to build a website, let's say a dating website like POF or a porn website like Rude.com, don't hire a programmer. You just shit out of luck. Look, if it was that easy to make these sites, everybody would be making money. If it was that easy to make these sites and promote these sites the way these guys are doing, what these guys did, everybody would be a millionaire. The thing is, POF, Marcus Friend, the guy was a fucking nerd, man. A lot of these internet millionaires are fucking nerds, dude. They're fucking geeks. They're fucking tech geeks. A lot of them got in early and have made their millions. A lot of them, look at Mark Zuckerberg, fucking nerd, man, geek. All these guys that make these $1 million websites are nerds. Make these complicated websites are nerds. They nerds. Coding is not easy work. Everybody can't code, man. Everybody just can't do that. I don't have the mind to do that. But I'm telling you, if you got an idea for a dating site, uh, idea for any type of complicated site, learn how to do it yourself. Do not hire a programmer. I'm gonna tell you why you not. I'm gonna tell you why it's not a good idea to hire a programmer, especially if you don't know nothing about coding or anything. If you hire a programmer, you're at the mercy of that programmer. So if anything goes wrong with that site, which it will, you got to contact that programmer. You got to tell him what's wrong. He has to fix it. A lot of times these programmers uh, go missing in action. They build your site. This is what I went through. I had a site. I still got a site, but it's all effed up. And the programmer, GoDaddy, messed up the site. I lost a lot of files on the site. And when I contacted the programmer, he was putting me off. He didn't want to do it. It seemed like he didn't want to do the work. I tried to, hire other people, but they didn't know how. They were coders, but they didn't understand the coding language that the person who made the website, they didn't know how to do that. So it was very difficult. It was very difficult to find. I couldn't find anybody that knew how to code, how to use that language that the programmer had used. Nobody else knew how to do it. So I was at the mercy of this programmer who was missing in action, who didn't really want to work on my site again. It was just a pain in the ass, man. I had to pay him. I had to give him. I had to beg him to do it. I had to say, man, I'll give you $60 if you just fix my site, man. He finally fucking did it, and the shit still ain't right. So I'm like, fuck these fucking programmers. Um, it's just no, I ain't gonna say fuck the programmers, but This is the shit you're gonna go through if you hiring somebody else to build your website. This is something that you can go through. This can happen to you. You can have a beautiful dating site that's getting millions of views, and all of a sudden it crashes one day. Your programmer missing the action, and he can't help you. That's why the people that are making these sites are nerds. The people that are owning these sites are nerds. It's not like an owner like me that don't know shit owning one of these $1 billion site, $1 million sites from a fucking programmer, from an independent programmer that you met on Guru.com, that you hired on Freelancer.com, or hired from Guru.com to build you a website because you had an idea of how you had an idea of what you wanted your website to be, and you hired this coder for like $500 to build you this $1 million site. It don't work like that. It don't work like that at all. These coders are building their own sites and making millions of dollars. Period. Point blank. They're the ones who making millions. It's not somebody like me that have an idea for a website and don't know what the fuck he doing, don't know how to edit the site. That's why a lot of these guys like me, they just use WordPress because that's simple. That's easy. I mean, you can edit that. I mean, it doesn't. You don't know how to learn how to code. You don't have to learn how. You don't have to know how to code to edit a WordPress site. So that's why a lot of us have these WordPress sites. I mean, a lot of us have these WordPress sites. We don't have no difficult sites. A lot of us don't have no dating sites. And you see a lot of these rogue dating sites. They don't have no real users. Nobody's on their sites. Them sites are ghost towns. The main sites, social sites are tagged, nerd code, nerd owns, rude, well those are adult sites. Nerd owns, nerd coded, POF, nerd owned, nerd coded, eBay, nerd owned, nerd coded, Amazon, nerd owned, nerd coded. All these huge sites, and everybody, like I said, if everybody could do this, everybody'd be a millionaire. But this is revenge of the worst. Revenge of the nerds. Nerds rule the internet. The internet is a nerd damn platform. The billionaires, the rulers of the internet are nerds, making all the goddamn money. They got in early. They got in late. They still making money because they know they tech geeks. They geeks, man. They techs. They computer wizards. They know how to do that shit. The average Joe like me don't have a fucking clue. So that's why the average internet marketer running around here scraping up 10, 15, $20 a day, living barely surviving off this shit. While the fucking geeks and techs and nerds, they making 10 million a year. Sitting back chilling, autopilot, 10 million a year. Then selling for a billion or 500 million, you know. So I would not recommend you hiring a programmer to build your website. I recommend you learn coding yourself and build the damn website yourself. You know, a partner with somebody, but you have to learn coding. Partner with somebody, both of y'all know code, both of y'all build it. And when you do start hiring people like Mark Zuckerberg, You still have a foundation. You know how to code yourself, so you have an idea of what you want your website to be and all that. Because you may disagree with me. You may say, no, you can hire. No, I think hiring a programmer is a good idea. Yeah, but what if you want to add something new to the website? You're gonna have to call up that programmer. When you want to add something, take something off, you're gonna have to call that program, and that programmer might not be available. I mean, after all, they are human beings, so they might not be available, and you may need that work done in a hurry. That's why it's not really a good idea to be hiring these guys from Guru.com, Freelancer.com. It's not really a good idea to be hiring these guys to build your website, especially from scratch. Now, as you can see, like moremoney.com, that's a script, you know, and I depend. He didn't build a website from scratch. He didn't build. He has a script. He created the script, and it's like a YouTube clone site. He created the script, different versions, and it is pretty much a tube site for everybody that signs up and goes to his platform. It's a tube script site. Now even those can go wrong because we still dependent on the programmer. And luckily this programmer has been, you know, he hasn't been gone missing. So we kind of, I'm kind of lucky because he does uh answer your calls, answer your needs, answer your concerns. He does do that. Very helpful guy. But this guy is not on Guru.com. He's not a freelancer. Yeah, so he should always be around because he built his whole platform on this script cloning site, and he has everything is based on this cloning site, all this business. So that's something different. He's not really an independent rogue type person that's selling his services. He's not selling the services. He's selling the platform of the site, and it's pretty much the same. It's the same site all over, the same site across the board. He's selling you a carbon copy of the same site across the board. Not really a site, but he's selling you the carbon copy of the script across the board, a YouTube clone script. But anyway, yeah, it's not a good idea to hire programmers to build you a site. You know, it's not a good idea. There's too many things that's gonna happen, and you need somebody dedicated. And a lot of these guys are not dedicated. They here and there for the quick little buck. They build your site, and they pretty much don't want to hear from you again. They're not one of these guys that's gonna provide you with lifetime support. They're not gonna do that. These guys are building like 500, 200, 300 sites a year, maybe, and they don't have time to be everybody's support. You know, they just it's not convenient. Convenient. It's not productive for them. So yeah, that's the title. Not a good idea to hire. Don't hire a programmer to build your website. Peace.